Do you hear me? We have some.
Yeah. Carry on.
Yeah. So if you have some like how to say, like fear that your knowledge is not enough for you to relocate, for example, to some country, or I don't know, for example, to travel at least to some other country, and this country is English speaking. I think that you shouldn't worry. I think your language is pretty clear, and you know enough words, enough of grammar construction, so something like that. Yeah.
Thank you for your everything. What you are telling, that's absolutely fantastic. But one thing I can add here, that is how many phrases or how many idioms you can use. That is not problem. That's not problem. But if you not practice your speaking, or if you not practice your English, that it won't develop.
Yes, you're right.
Because you can just imagine that a blind man whose native language is English, he or she can speak in English smoothly.
Yes.
He or she doesn't feel any problem. Why? This is the main reason, is that he or she learning English from very childhood, and mostly listening, because he or she is a blind person. So to be a fluent speaker, it's my personal opinion that we just need to practice our English to make conversation with others. That time it will be very much easy for us. Without practicing, it can't make a fluent speaker anybody, isn't it?
Yes, you're right. Yes, you're right.
Memorizing more and more vocabularies, memorizing more and more phrases, idioms, it's not so enough for fluent speaker.
Yes.
But day by day, it will develop you and me if we practice each and others.
Yes, you're right. Yeah. And you know, for example, I had a lesson today. It was a nice experience, because you know these community tutors. They did you have any lesson here with community tutor?
Actually, you are talking about teacher.
Yeah, community tutors, not teachers, but community tutors. So we have these professional teachers here who learn the language, who teach the language, who teach you some like English, general English words, phrases, and I don't know everything about the language. But we also have community tutors. You can apply filter here, and this just native speakers who just communicate with you. And I thought that how this will happen. And it was very interesting, because this guy has prepared a list of very interesting questions. And it was interesting for me, because I suppose that we must all the time create some topics to discuss, to find some entry points, I don't know, to understand each other, to continue a conversation. But it was interesting that these community tutors, they prepare some plan for this conversation, and you talk not about some general things, but based on their plan, on their agenda. And for example, this community tutor asked me if I, for example, had a choice between time and money, what would I choose? Could you answer this question? So, for example, if you were proposed to choose between two things, yes, money and time, what would you choose?
Always time.
Yeah, and why? Why?
Because if I get time, I can earn money. Or if I not get time, I won't get earn money. And money not bring time, but time can bring.
Yes. Yes, I answered the same way. Yeah. Then he asked me, for example, if you had the choice between two things. The first one, know all the languages all over the world, absolutely all. And the second one, to be able to communicate with animals. What would you choose?
What did you choose?
Yeah. So, so you have, for example, an option, yes, to choose between two variants. The first one, to know all like human language, yes, all the languages all over the world, and be able to communicate with all people all over the world. And the first option, to know the language of the animals, but not people. Yeah. Would you like to communicate with animals or with people?
Yeah, answering is much difficult because hypothetical question is that.
Yeah. So in general, I responded to this question that I would prefer to have like an ability to speak with people, because I told to this guy that I don't have a girl at the moment because I'm like busy at work, and if I knew all the languages, I would have more options to choose. So I could, for example, find a girl somewhere in different country, and at the moment I have like only options here in my city, and it's a problem because of this language barrier. I can't just go to some country, to France, for example, and to date some girl and walk with her to some this Disneyland, in France, or to some romantic places. I just can't speak like this French language. And what the like benefit from knowing the language of dogs? We could like speak with dogs, but what the benefit? So I responded him that in my personal like case, I would prefer the first option. Yeah.